Hey, I wanted to officially welcome to the Intentionally Thriving Facebook community. What we're doing, we are on my Facebook group of Intentionally Thriving, which is a free Facebook group. And I feel like I haven't got to really talk to you guys to kind of let you know exactly what's going on, what's coming up. I know it has been super busy. I mean, it's already March. Can you believe that? And I just wanted to just kind of reach out to kind of tell you what exactly is happening, what's going on, because I've been busy with kind of seeing some of you, and I wanted to make sure that like you saw my face. And if you have any questions, know in this Facebook group, what we're doing is we're allowing you to be able to talk about things that are kind of coming up for you, but so you don't feel like you have to be alone in this, right? And we do just kind of minimal here, but I want to make sure that you know that you have support when it comes to what you're going through, when it comes to out of these narcissistic relationships. So I just wanted to just overall just reach out. Right. And so what's kind of coming up, I just want to give some announcements. What's coming up is that we are going to be having a summit, a Rise Up and Shine summit that's going to be dropping on April 10th through the 14th, which is going to be talking about just helping you to stop this people pleasing, owning your power, finding your voice. So I have some dynamic speakers that are coming to kind of help you, which is going to be free for you guys to be able to just kind of tap into that part of yourself. And then next, what we have is that we have where you are going to be able to just join us on June 10th for our retreat that's coming up for this year. It's our annual girlfriend annual check-in that we have every year over the summer that we all kind of come together. So what really this is just building community. And if you don't know who I am Samantha, a trauma and toxic belief recovery expert and therapist to kind of help you to break free from toxic and narcissistic relationships so you can be able to establish healthy and nourishing ones. And that is my main goal of being in here with you overall, becoming your best self. And so, what I wanted to be able to do is to also for you to know that I think a lot of you guys don't know exactly all that we have in store under the Moving Beyond You community. So, I want to just kind of break that down, right? Because a lot of times you don't realize that there's three ways to be able to when you're getting out of these types of relationships, there's three different things to look out for. First is someone who's in a survivor mode. Someone who's in survivor mode is more so they feel like things are happening to them, that things are happening to them, and they feel like they're the victim of the situation, which is fine. We help out with that, but that would be more into our programs and our membership, right? Someone who is in that, that surviving space. Next is surviving space where you feel as though you are coming out of feeling like the victim. You know these things have happened, you're aware of it, and you're trying to choose differently, but you still are trying to find those coping skills and how to work through it. Then you might want to go in the program as well. And I'm talking about the programs of Life After a Narcissist or my Break the Cycle of People Pleasing program. But in the meantime of all those things, what we do have consistently that's going on all throughout is our membership program, which is all about community and being there for each other. It is called the Hey, It's Not Just You membership. So I just want to let you guys know about that because a lot of times we are not realizing the power of just shifting into healthy relationships. We don't realize is that when we start shifting out of these toxic ones, we realize a lot of people around us were not the very supportive of us either. Sometimes we have family that is supportive of us, but a lot of times we do not. And so with this membership, what we're doing is every month we talk about a subject that really is going to make you just thrive, right? And so what we're doing for tomorrow is we're going to be talking about escaping self-sabotage and building those healthy connections. But I wanted to just kind of overall kind of come in here and talk about the common patterns that we have when it comes to self-sabotaging to see if you do any of them, if any of them come up for you. And this is when things are going well, but you feel as though you have to brace yourself for something to go wrong. And a lot of times when we're in those types of relationships, that tends to come up. So I know you have to be tired of falling into the same old patterns in your relationships, or it doesn't have to necessarily be when it comes to romantic relationships. This is also can be when it comes to simply just partners. It could be past partners. It could be parents, it could be friends, it could be work, people that you work with, people that are in your life, and you want to make sure those are healthy connections. So a lot of times what happens in these patterns is we have the fear of vulnerability, we have difficulty communicating your needs, unrealistic expectations, and repetitive patterns are just a common few ways that we self-sabotage. And so I want you to know is that what I just remind you that you don't have to go through this alone. I'm going to be giving tips here, but we really show like how to work through that and how to do that within this membership. And you also have a community that gets it. So we have in-person quarterly meetings every month, but it seems like to be every month, but it's every quarter. But we make sure that we meet to 1 to 2 times a month to make sure that we have that impact when it comes to each other and being there for each other. So you might have seen a lot of groups. We did pole dancing before. We went to a salamander resort this past earlier this month. So we're going to be doing things with one another in the DC area to be able to really impact that community and be able to see us be able to grow and thrive and be there for each other, which a lot of us don't have. You don't have to go through this alone. So I just want to make sure I keep reiterating that when doing this. So when it comes to self-sabotaging, I want you to realize that when things are going well, understand that it's okay that it's going well. We don't have to try to do something. A lot of times we do it like unconsciously, where we try to, act like things are doing good and we just kind of get a little bit scared about it. And then we start doing things that we don't usually do. So, one, the fear of vulnerability, right? Many of us struggle with the fear of being seen for who we are, right? And especially in the early stages of relationship, a lot of times what we do, we don't do it on purpose, and a lot of people do. We kind of have this mask on who does the person want me to be versus being just truly you. We might put up walls, and remember we talk about if you haven't had, sessions with me or been in my membership or my events, understand that when walls are up, nobody can get in, right? What we want to do is have a gate. You want to be able to let the good in and keep the bad out. But so you can be able to navigate on who is healthy, I can let in, who's positive, who I can, learn from, I get excited to see again. I want to let those people in. The people we leave out are the people who are draining us, who don't necessarily talk to us or who make us feel bad about ourselves. We leave those people outside of that gate. So you can really control exactly who you let in your life and who needs to stay out of your life. Right. And so we might put up walls to keep our emotions at bay for fear of being rejected or hurt. But this fear can keep us from building the deep, meaningful connections that we crave. And I want you to be able to have those connections for you. And we're going to dive deep into doing activities in the membership. Tomorrow, we're having our monthly workshop again at 7 p.m. And if you kind of sign up now, you kind of lock in the price. Each time when you sign up, you lock in the price that you have when you signed up. So no matter if we kind of pour more things in, you get all those things as long as you're staying in the group, which probably people don't realize, right? So people who are already in the group got a really good, deal with it, and you guys will as well. Also, understanding that when you're self-sabotaging, a lot of times what happens is we have difficulty communicating our needs. And we talk about this in my programs as well, but I want you to understand that communication is, of course, the key to healthy relationships. And, I definitely going to have my notes here to make sure I don't forget anything when I'm telling you guys these things. But many of us struggle to express our needs and desires in a clear, constructive way. Like I need for people to know exactly what you need. And if you have trouble with that, let me know in the comments if you do have trouble with this, because this can make a huge impact when it comes to you and affecting your relationships. Okay. We also might hold back expecting our partner to read our minds, or we might feel like we're being too aggressive, or we demanding what we want without considering our partner's feelings. We feel like we're doing too much when communicating our needs, when a lot of times it's interesting because when people communicate their needs, we don't say anything about it. We just kind of follow through with what they say. But when we do it, we feel like it's being too much, and that's not the case. You are not being too much, you being yourself. Understand, we want you to be able to be yourself, say exactly what you need, but also know just because you're saying what you need does not mean that everyone's going to follow through with it. So I want you to make sure you know that You can say what you need, but doesn't mean the person will follow through. And a lot of times that has happened, right? Next, and I'll use this last one, is that we have a lot of time with self-sabotaging. We have unrealistic expectations. Right? We all have expectation when it comes to our relationships, but sometimes those expectations can be unrealistic or unfair. We might expect our partner to fulfill all of our needs, our emotional needs, for example, always being available and attentive. We're not saying that the person can never be, but a lot of times you understand that no one is going to fill 100% of your needs. So, okay, is it that you need more connection? Instead of expecting your partner to do everything for you, maybe it's looking into having people that you can turn to, having people that you can be able to talk to instead of just always feeling to talk with the partner that you're with. And this comes when it comes to, whether friendships or just people you're meeting, knowing that I even called intentionally thriving because you have to be intentional when it comes to the life that you want. It's not just going to just come and drop in your lap. You have to be intentional with creating those healthy friendships, going to events. And I'm not just saying just mine, but just allowing yourself to see beyond the four walls of your home, right? And so just really understanding that. And when these expectations are not met, we might become resentful or we feel like a disillusion, sabotaging the relationship in the process. And how many times even I have done this, right? With even in my own relationship, if I felt like, okay, it feels like too much like the last one, I might find myself creating arguments that are not necessary, or I might find myself doing, you know, finding issues that are not there because I'm so used to the chaos. A lot of times when you are kind of coming out of it, right? When you're starting to choose people who are right for you, you have to unlearn that you need to have chaos in a relationship because you don't. You're able to feel at peace. You're able to, you want to, and you'll know that you're in the healthy relationship because your nervous system is going to feel at peace. You're not going to feel that sense of anxiety of just like watching for the shoe to drop anymore. You're just going to feel trusting within yourself and at peace with the person as well. So I just definitely wanted to come on here and make sure I just kind of let you guys know the ways that we can self-sabotage. And if you want to learn more, make sure you check out this within just within the membership. So you just kind of have that with you. If you have any questions about anything, make sure to let me know. So I have been putting out participation awards that are going to be happening every month just for those who are engaging, those who are helping make an impact on other people, commenting on other people's, you know, um, commenting on other people's stuff, who are liking, engaging in any way, because I want to make sure that we just do this together. And a lot of times you can only get so much when you're in this kind of type of community. So if you want something that's more, smaller and focused and really diving in and investing in yourself, you just let me know and we can kind of get you access. So if you have any questions for me, let me know in the chat and I will talk to you soon.